my guys. Puzzle my guys. Good. I got the creme de la creme of the Alcon world out here today. I got my girl Letta, my old boy Takoda, and Osita. Now this is a great day, boy, for Alcons, let me tell you. Great day. These are the most genetically diverse Alcons left in North America. These are some seriously good dogs. And we're out here doing some training today. And Letta wanted to come along. Now Letta is the full, Osita is a full brother by another mother to Letta, put it that way. So Osita, his mother is Tika, and Letta's mother is Kai, and Kai and Letta are full siblings. Now, you see, they just caught wind of something. I just start talking and they catch something right there. We just look over there. Now all the game is up in this draw. I'll show you this draw in a little bit. Oh, so he's a good boy. Letta, she's a good girl. See that looking at us? Checking her zone. She's not going to disappear. She'll just check the surroundings. Good boy, Osa. What a good boy, Osa. What a good boy. What a magnificent fella. What a good boy. What a good boy. This is Tika and Pretty Boy Leaf Pup. Now we're doing some Desna work up here in the high country today. And I'm moving pretty slow. I put a lot of miles on over the last week. And last night, each night of course, I take a couple of the dogs and we go and we get some more wood. And so I'm getting a bit played out, but these stops are perfect for me because Takoda and I we like to stop at the same time now, and so that's kind of handy. Takoda's 12. We're celebrating his birthday. Now, in the world of genetically diverse dogs, I want to share what I mean by that. In the old country, we follow old world breeding principles. So years ago, I remember as a kid on the scouting camps where we were looking for game that night around the fire, the old guys would talk, my uncles and stuff, and they would talk about the breeding principles, because the dogs were used for scouting all the time, right? And so you want to be able to be successful on your hunt, so you go scout first and you find out where the game is and so on and so forth. But the principles were, in the old country, they would take, there were certain families that had dogs, and they all knew which families worked with which dogs. And certain families' dogs didn't work with another families, but I'll just use two names. Let's say the Danielson dogs worked with the Iverson dogs. And they knew that. Now, one of them families could be way over and have coastal Alcons. This has a lot of coastal Alcon blood, so does this guy. This dog has very little. Now, coastal dogs are the thicker bone, shorter, fatter, thicker, the coat's all thicker, everything. That's a coastal dog. This is a Norland dog, so it's in the bog, the snow, the deeper snow, the northern regions. So it's a lot longer legged, coat's quite a bit different. And what would happen is the old boys in the old country, every so many years, they take one of their good females, and the minute she started spotting, they would start hiking, and they would hike all the way up north. They'd go right up to the bog district, and they'd go to one of them families that had this lineage. completely opposite. And they breed that female to these dogs to get the most diverse genetic that they could find. A few years later, maybe not the same breeder of this dog, but one of the other guys, when his female spotted, he'd make the trek all the way out there and do the same thing. Then for a year or two, they could go locally and use their bloodlines around. But every so often, they went as far as they could make it in that 10-day window. And they had 10 days to get there. They knew once she spotted, by the 10 days was up, she'd be in full heat. And so they'd want to be at their location. And they could travel as far as they could go in 10 kilometers and get to one of those families. And that's how genetic diversity was kept in these dogs for so many centuries, and so strong lines and so good. Now, nobody thinks of genetic diversity when they breed except preservation breeders like us and old world guys. They all just think about traits of the dog. And the traits of the dog, you never have to worry about in these genetics. They're 4,000 years old. The traits are there. They're locked in. So anybody that says, oh, I'm breeding for genetic traits, and they're basically a new breeder, they wouldn't know a good trait from a bad one anyway. So they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. And if you've got somebody who's got a ton of experience, then you could listen a bit. And if she says, okay, she wants to beef up the leg or add a little depth to the chest or something like that, you could pay attention to that. But lots of these breeders, and I'm not just talking about outcome breeders, it's all breeds. I mean, they've destroyed the Doberman breed, they've destroyed the German Shepherds, they butcher up. I mean, we got designer dogs now, for crying out loud. Give me a break. So, genetic diversity should be paramount in every breeder's mind. And so we take the coastal lines, we use the Northland lines, and we're the only breeder that really fully works to preserve all of the blood. Now, I'll use this concept sitting right here, Osita and Letta. Now, every genetic researcher will tell you that the genetics out of Kai and her offspring, even if they're mated, even if Kai's mated to the same male, and Osita, because he's mated to Kai's, Tika is Kai's full sister, same litter, same siblings, mated to the same male, Pretty Boy Leap. These two have slightly different aspects, slightly different genetics. Even though they're very, very much called full siblings, they are different. And what you want to be able to do is keep that genetic diversity. And so we do focus a fair bit on siblings and running sisters and that sort of thing. And that's why we can come out here with a dog, fourth generation dog like this. It's a splendid dog. This dog could match up with any North American bred dog and compete on a full-scale level with any European dog. This is a magnificent dog. Now, Osita is the exact same thing. This dog's only 6 months, and Osita is just 14 weeks. Come, boy. Osita, come by me. Come, boy. No, Osita, he's skilled. He's a rock star, this Osita. Come, boy. What a good boy. You are such a good boy. Oh, my goodness. You bet. Now these guys, you see, they have the tempered genetics from Takoda. Takoda is the great-grandfather, by the way, not the grandfather. Bram is the grandfather of these dogs. But this personable nature to the handler tempers down that overpowering friendliness of Leaf. So Osita and Letta are very nice to be around. Like, I like working with dogs like this. And Osita, he's focused. He doesn't overpower me. He comes up, stays with me. The whole hike here, I was tired a mile and a half back, and he was getting played out too. But what happens is they stay within, I'm looking like this right here, and he's right there all the time. I'm looking over here, he's right here. I'm not having to watch the horizon for the pup. These guys are focused. Now, even though Pretty Boy Leaf genetics are in the dog, you see, you get this full ability to stay calm and be around the handler and focus on the handler. And back to this Letta and Osita, same thing. They can match up with any of the very best genetics out there in the world. They can. In fact, as far as instincts go in North America, both these two pups are better than almost the entire list in North America. Now, overseas, they're full hunting dogs. They don't have any show hardly at all, so they're full hunting, rich, instinctive dogs. So we're keeping that instinct in there. And we don't show dogs, we only breed working dogs. But if all you ever had was Osita or this dog, wow. I mean, wow. What a great dog to live your life with. And awesome dogs. This is the behavior that I like to see when I stop. I want to see the dog sit down by me so I can have my lunch, have my coffee, whatever. I want to relax. I want to take a load off. I want them to hang by me. And these dogs are so instinctively rich that they'll literally come and sit beside me and touch me, and that's where they'll stay. I mean, it's one of the most profound lines in the world for that aspect. Very, very good dogs. And some people write about the stubborn nature of the Alcoun and so on and so forth. That's not this lineage. This lineage is not that way at all. I don't even have to train these guys hardly at all. All the instincts are to focus on what I want them to do. They live to do what I want. And it's completely a dream working with dogs that have this nature. So very, very nice. I don't have one of those stubborn dogs. Mia was the last of the stubborn line, and she only had a little bit of it left. The coastal dogs are stubborn. But the lines that I have are all this nice working line. So it's very, very good. Now there's a ton of awesome breeders in the backgrounds of these dogs. I'm not taking all the credit. I've assembled good dogs over the years, of course, and I've done a really good job in getting the right dogs in. But the background breeders of this set of dogs here today deserve all the credit. They worked hard for their whole life to preserve and maintain the integrity of the genetics, the integrity of the skill, the structure, the type, the diversity. They spent way more money than most breeders just to keep the diversity. They invested time and energy to see those traits at work and to test those dogs. So they are very, very good, and they deserve that credit. Now, when your dogs are out in the bush, you pay attention to your dogs. They'll tell you what's going on. They may be sitting here resting, but they can hear way better than me. They hear something crack in the bush, they'll tell you. And I like to get on these high spots, right? The air comes up here for them. If you stop with your dog hiking, of course, you always stop up top. You don't stop down in a hole. Always stop up top where the wind's flowing up. Always remember that. Especially if you're hiking in bear country in the fall where they're hungry. They're trying to eat anything in sight. So you pay attention. Spring bears, that's a good time to pay attention, but they're not they're not going to come and bother you. But you get out at this stage of the game, boy, you pay attention, because the cubs are traveling fast with the old sow. They can all move, they can hustle, and they can cover ground. So yeah, we pay attention to the dogs. I watch the dogs all the time. Now, in situations with a pair like this, these three here, Osita would stay with me, and these two would go, and I would let them go, and they can deal with whatever's there, and I'm going to get going down to another lookout point, and Osita will come with me. Now, at this stage here, this dog will deal with the threats that are around for the most part. And we don't have wolves right in our zone. I check our sign all the time. The wolves are north of us about 14 miles, 15 miles. They have not moved down to this range, which I'm happy about. And we don't have the grizzly come right through here. The grizzly go over where Osita's mother is. They was through their yard, but they got big protection dogs, livestock protection dogs. And so they run a lot of livestock, sheep and cows and hogs and chickens and everything. And they got the big Akbash dogs, so they're on they watch the perimeters. But the grizzly are in their zone. They're not here, right in my zone. I haven't come across the grizzly. We got brown and black bear. And there's a big fat cinnamon bear now. He's 5 years old. Well, maybe more than 5, maybe 7. But he used to sleep in our yard. And then Tora always wanted to play with him, but he didn't want to play with Tora. He was just a little guy then. But now, every time Tora sees him, they look at each other. They think, well, we should have a wrestle. So it's kind of funny. But they don't, of course. Tora would win. He's only about 600 pounds, so Tora could handle him. Isn't that right, Osita? That's your grandma. That's your grandma. Now, don't let anybody instruct your dog. Keep your mind shut from all the wannabe dog trainers that have their dog on the couch and haven't hiked with it out in the bush. Don't listen to them. Don't let anybody feed your dog, ever. Feed your dog twice a day, smaller amounts, twice a day, better. Not so full, not so hard to digest. Feed raw. Look at this dog, magnificent. You can't even tell what year he is. I mean, he could be 2, he could be 4, he could be 6, he's 12. So we're celebrating his birthday. Best coat I got on any dog. Least amount of shedding, least amount of cleaning, least amount of brushing. Best looking coat. Always beautiful, no odor. Osita will have a coat exactly like him. Osita's coat's the same. He's got the big top coat, black top coat. This dog's got great teeth, great eyes, great hips. There's no such thing as in genetically diverse outcomes. There's problems with legs, eyes, ears, feet, nothing. There is no problems. It's when you start shortening up the genetics that you could introduce that. Letta, you come by me. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Osita, come here, boy. Osita. Oh, he's watching that bird. Well, good for him. All right, you guys, we better get hiking. We better get hiking. See, all the big moose are down in this draw here. They run all through this aspen range, and they run all the way around this other valley and head down there. They can cruise right through here. It's really a cool spot for these moose dogs. Now, if the moose were right here today, I would have to stop him because he ranges. He gets on out there. And so I would have to call him back, but he hasn't alerted me that there's any scent here today. So that's kind of cool. I've hiked thousands of miles with this guy in every type of terrain. He's a snow machine, let me tell you. Good boy, really good boy. Yeah, good dog. So yeah, we're having fun celebrating his birthday. He's putting some good habits and behaviors into Osita and the other boys. Course. Now them pups, you see, they don't go very far and they make their way back. They're very, very good dogs. Osa, Letta, come. Way to go. Way to go, Osa. What a good boy. What a good boy. Oh my goodness, mister. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're a good boy. What a fantastic fella. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a dog like you before. You are so good, mister. We don't use treats. We give a big reward when they do what we want. And I'm not packing treats out here. I would never use treats. And we never have. And we get the results we want. And you can always offer that. You never have to have a pocket full of that. Letta, come girl. Oh, Letta, look at that Letta. Come girl. Look at that Letta. What a magnificent girl. Oh my goodness, Letta. You're so fantastic. Oh man, Takoda, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So yeah, there's a good genetic line. That's a good genetic line. So Kai's got a year off, but Tika is going to have another litter. So Kai's mom is Letta's mom is Kai. She's having a year off. Osita's mom, she's going to have another litter, and we'll use Pretty Boy Leaf. I mean, how can you improve on this, right? Beautiful, and or that beautiful dogs. So yeah, so these two will be just looking pretty much the same in short order, although Osa will keep a little more of Takoda's style. He'll have a little dark top coat, a little more gray on the face. Beautiful dog. He'll be amazing. All right, you guys. That was fantastic. What do you say we get hiking? What do you say we get hiking, you guys?